Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Hello, folks.
What's going on, Wilson? How you doing?
As I call it, the new kids on the block.
Hey.
So I'm going to ask you, Jonathan, did you have to work out as much as these two?
We all pretty much had like a similar amount of working out happening. We were the three newbies as far as the Matrix is concerned. These two had done fight choreography before. I hadn't, so I was a little more like, what am I doing? Let me really try and make this happen. They had a little bit more, I feel like, ease, experience, but I would say workload-wise, as far as training, we were the same, although the two of you were in like every scene of the movie. So I had long stretches of breaks, whereas these two were like grinding out the entire run of the film. So in that way, it was different.
But that's what I mean. When I would go to set, so I would be out of the training room for like a week, and I'd come back in, and you were bigger. And every time I was just like, it's a noticeable difference. I keep coming back to this because it was a big part of the journey for me. It's just watching you grow.
You were marking time.
I was just like,
I've
been here so many months. Yeah. Jonathan's muscles are huge.
So, talk to me about playing Morpheus and not trying to emulate the same performance, but bringing your own spin to it.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was really the job. I play a Morpheus who is, aware of the Morpheus of the past, and he's attempting to, figure out who he is and how he wants to exist in this world. I got to, play with the freedom of choice, and so I think that's why we see a Morpheus who is wearing, the bright colors and the different shades, and he's just trying different things on to see what really suits him. His attitude and his personality. So I think it was really cool to honor the performance of the past, but also to sort of step into his own personality and his own sense of self. This time around.
And Jessica Bugs, she comes into the movie and we're seeing that she's very tech savvy and kind of figuring everything out. And obviously, you were relatively young when the first films came out. So did you have to play catch up or? Granted, it's a new character, but how much enjoyment did you have being as part of this film?
Yeah, I did play catch up. I mean, I watched it when I was a kid. Not when it came out, I was too young, but I watched it a couple years later, and I'm sorry, Yahya's heard this story before.
I haven't.
I was scarred when I watched the film because I was terrified that people were going to stitch up my mouth, and I'd never contemplated that like a belly button was an orifice.
Yes, that part, I feel you.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So I was still too young to watch it. I must have been like 12, and then I couldn't look at it again for years because, I was traumatized.
So between the three of you, who's the more tech savvy? Obviously, there's knowing computer glitches, and then there's always being on. So social media makes you more smart, I guess, in a way.
You.
Definitely not.
It's not you?
It's not Jonathan.
It's not you?
It's one of us.
Well,
me.
Yep,
No, it might. I think it's you.
I think it might be me.
It might be you?
I think it might be me.
Yeah, I think it's you. Yeah.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
Because I'm a geek.
You're a geek. Yeah.
Okay. And like you're willing to invest in like the latest technology, whereas I'm cheap.
Okay.
So like I'm still on an iPhone from like 7 years ago.
Okay. No, it's me.
I'm remembering stories of electronic things.
Jonathan, obviously, we're not going to spoil anything, but there are a lot of familiar faces in this movie here. For all three of you, how much was a treat having seen, I'm sure you all had to play catch up, but to know that some of these people were coming back, and which the fans will get a treat out of, what was it like to be part of this franchise now, the fourth film?
Oh my gosh, it's totally surreal, completely exciting, and Lana talked a lot about how much her creative process has changed from the first films to 20 years later now based on her personal journey and her artistic journey combined. And so it was fun because even Keanu and Carrie-Anne coming back, they would talk to us like, this is a new process. This is a new experience. We're bringing new energy to this because we're inside of a new creative process. So there was so much to learn from and so much to ask them about. And then there was a real camaraderie because we were all inside of Lana's process together.
It's fun to watch this movie again. It's fun to see that you guys are in it. The new kids on the block, as I say, keep it going. I'll talk to you guys down the road.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.